So let's go ahead and hop right into this video. So typically when I'm making a doormat, I always measure the sides and stuff first to make sure that I have my design in the center before I go in with my spray adhesive, just so that after I spray the spray adhesive, I'll kind of already know where my center is. Now, the spray adhesive that I have listed in the doormat supply list, it is different from what you see. It is a smaller can. I haven't been able to find this bigger can in stores anymore. So you can use this one, or you can use spray adhesive that is sold at Walmart. I don't really find it as sticky, so I just use the one that I have listed in the doormat supplies. As you also notice, I did spray quite a bit on my stencil. I didn't just spray a little bit of spray adhesive. You want to cover that entire stencil. You want it as sticky as possible so that it can lay flat on your doormat. Now I'm just going back, measuring the bottom and the tops and the sides to make sure that it is exactly where I, last remembered that my numbers were. Now I'm going in and putting all my weight on the stencil to make sure that it is flat to that doormat. You don't want any lifts, because if you have any lifts and you're using Flex Seal, then that Flex Seal can seep up under there. And then that's how people ask, how do they get the bleeding? And that's also how bleeding can happen if your stencil is not flat and then your stencil isn't taped together properly. So you see how I have my stencils taped together? You will need to tape the front and the back, okay? Now what I'm doing, I'm going around the edges and putting my painter's tape. This will keep from that overspray. Let's just say you accidentally have the nozzle pointed the wrong way. Having this painter's tape around the edges will basically keep from any accidents happening. Now that I have my tape where I want it, I'm going to shake up this Flex Seal and I'm going to spray the part that needs the Flex Seal, which would just be the warning, the line, this house is, and the AF. I do kind of go over it twice. You'll see me go over it once here, and then I'll go over all of it again. Now that I've about got to the end, you'll see me go back over it, just a little quick swift across it, just to fill it all back in again. I'm going to do the same thing to that line in the center. I'm going to spray it once and then just go backwards and do it just like that. And I'm going to do the same thing to everything that needs to be in black. If you are choosing to use acrylic paint, I want you to notice how I do this. We're going to start with the B, right? You will notice that I'm not filling the entire B up. I'm going by sections. So I started with that first top of that B. I fill that in, and then I'll move on to the second part. See? I'm just going a little bit at a time. I'm putting a lot in one spot, filling that, and then I'm moving on and on and on. And I'll let you continue to watch how I do that. So I do wait about 10 to 15 minutes to let my doormat dry a little bit before I go in and remove my stencil. I do take it off kind of fast because I don't want any drips. You want to be extremely careful when removing that stencil. you will notice that I'm looking at the back of the cap because there is a hole there that when you spray that Flex Seal in the cap and you lay the cap on the doormat, you can put a spot there. So I just get some painter's tape and put it on the back of the cap before I spray the Flex Seal in there so I don't have any mess ups. So now what I'm doing, I'm just going back and filling in all the letters that we put the lines in at. Now, this is optional. If you want to keep the lines the way that they are, then go for it. But I never leave my lines not filled in. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to do the same thing for the bougie as well. And then I'll just also let you just keep watching from here. Usually for my beginners, I recommend sealing your doormat while your stencil is still down, but I'll let you choose if you want to do it while the stencil is still down or once you remove it. If you choose to do it while the stencil is off, just make sure that you do it like I'm showing you in this next clip here. Don't be too close. Don't spray too much. Just spray just enough to seal it, okay? Thank you for watching, and I hope this helped you out a lot. So typically I recommend my beginners to seal their doormats before they remove the stencil. You can do it either way, before or after your stencil removal, but just make sure that you're not too close up on your doormat when you're using your sealant. Now this sealant that I'm showing you, it isn't the one that I recommended in the supply list, but this one is still an option. So you see how I'm not close? Just stand up far back a little bit, fan it, and you're done, okay?